What is up, everybody? Soup here for another episode of Soup's UFC Preview. We got UFC Fight Night 250 live this Saturday, February 1st, 9 a.m. Eastern Time prelims, 12 noon time main card, guys. Don't forget to set your alarms. Be ready for these. We got some bangers capped off with Israel Adesanya going head-to-head with Nasruddin Imavov in the main event. I'm going to go over all of the fights. As always, hit you with my sleeper fighter of the night. Guys, tap in the comments. Let me know what you think, and let's get this party started. All right, guys, so for the first fight of the night on the main card, we have Faraz Ziem versus Mike Davis. Faraz Ziem coming off a vicious knockout of Matt Frevola. As some of you may remember, Ray Longo hit him with possibly the worst advice of all time. Yeah, won't do that again. And he landed one of the most vicious knee knockouts ever. And then Mike Davis is coming off of a great submission win off of Nathan Levy, I think is who he beat, he's an excellent fighter too. This should be a banger, guys, to open up the main card. I will say that usually in a grappler versus striker type of fight, I tend to lean towards the grappler. So I am going to go with Mike Davis in this fight. I think he has a stronger wrestling background. I think he's going to out-grapple him. And I actually have Mike Davis by submission, round 2. Lock it in. All right, guys, so for the next fight, we have Vinicius Oliveira going against Said Nurmagomedov. Should be an excellent fight. Vinicius Oliveira may or may not be my sleeper fighter of the night. We'll see that a little bit later in the video. This kid's the real deal. I do have him winning by KO. He reminds me very much of a Carlos Prates. He has long, rangy type of striking. He really can rip knees up the middle. He lands that jab, keeps that distance. And I see Said, he has a wrestling background. He comes from Dagestan. He's got one of those excellent wrestling and grappling backgrounds. I see him shooting for a takedown. I see Vinicius ripping that knee up the middle and landing the KO, or I'd say second round. So Vinicius Oliveira, TKO, second round. Lock it in. All right, guys, so for the next fight, we have the heavyweights, the big boys, Jairzinho Rozenstruik going head-to-head against Sergey Pavlovich. This is an interesting one, guys. Sergey Pavlovich was like the boogeyman of this division at one point. He was looked at as the guy that might have been the one to take on John Jones. He was really that up-and-coming heavyweight, and he looked terrible in his last fight. Alexander Volkov really exposed him. I really think that this fight should be interesting because to Pavlovich's bad fight in his last one, Jairzinho Rozenstruik looked money in his last fight. That boy looked clean as a whistle. I think that this could be a very interesting fight. I do have Jairzinho Rozenstruik by decision. I think he's going to grapple him, take him down, and he's going to ground and pound him, almost like a Randy Couture type of fight for 3 rounds. Pavlovich's gas tank's going to run out about, I'd say, halfway through the second round. He's going to be completely gassed, and Rozenstruik's just going to sit on top of him for 3 rounds, and I think he goes to a decision. Lock it in. Jairzinho Rozenstruik by decision. All right, guys, time for the co-main event. This is probably everybody's actual main event. People are really excited about this. The people's main event, we have MVP going against Shara Bullet. So MVP coming off a tough loss to Ian Machado Gary, but he did look excellent in that fight, along with the Kevin Holland fight that he won. Shara Bullet is undefeated, coming off that spinning double back fist, one of the craziest striking finishes that I've ever seen. If there's one thing I got to say, Shara Bullet has looked exposed at time on the feet, and I think this is an incredible mismatch. Anybody not taking MVP, listen, anything can happen in any fight, right? But I really think that MVP is going to expose Shara Bullet this weekend. I think it's going to go to a decision, but don't be surprised if he ends up finishing him. MVP by decision, lock it in, but I don't know. It could be a knockout too, because MVP's striking is on another level. He's incredible at keeping range and striking. He's a point fighter as well, so I see MVP just literally piecing him up. If he decides to finish it early, he does. But if not, it'll go to a decision and he'll win that way too. So MVP by however he decides.